Hi, it's been a while since I made the video about my Bullitt bike that I put together from a frame kit and separate parts. I think about 2 years. And yeah, I just thought I'm gonna do sort of a follow-up and go around the bike again, show you how it looks now. And I didn't do too many changes on the bike, but now I finally have a battery, and it's a big battery, and I want to talk about that. But first, I feel like having a coffee. Definitely not a pro. Cheers. So good. So what's going on here? To show you the capacity and also the capability of the battery pack, I brought this inverter which can deliver 1500 watts from a source up to 60 volts. Yep, nice power outlet. And yeah, this is made by Meanwell. Now let's talk about the battery itself. Like everything I do on this bike, it's still kind of temporary. See? But it's in a condition that I can use it. I've been riding it for a while now. Display has some connectivity issues, so it shows funny signs. Basically, when it's connected correctly, it shows you voltage and remaining capacity. But I can also see that on my app. The BMS has a Bluetooth module built in, and the seller sent me this app. Basically, it works pretty good. And under this tab, Live Data, you get most information that's interesting. So all these voltages are my strings of cells, since I got 14 by 14 in parallel and 14 packs of 14 cells in parallel in series. So this should be 6, 7, yeah, 14. And it shows me the cell string with the lowest voltage in blue and the highest voltage in red. It's also measuring the outgoing current, which is 0.5 amps at the moment, and accordingly the wattage. I also placed 4 temperature sensors all around the battery pack, from which one of them I think disconnected already. Probably a cable broke, but yeah, you see the temperatures ranging from 11 Celsius to 14 Celsius, and the upper 2 voltages are inside of the BMS itself. Here you have the remaining capacity. I set a total capacity of the battery pack to 39 and circulating 35, because there's always some remaining. I don't know if it's perfect, but yeah, it sort of gives you an estimate of how much is remaining. Of course, you also have the voltage. Yeah, I can manually turn it off or on. Don't want to do it right now because I want to show you what happens if I turn on the coffee machine. So the coffee machine takes 1150 watts, that's what it says on the label, and the inverter has a 91% efficiency. So yeah, I think the numbers are pretty accurate, because it says 1190 watts, and you see the amp hours going down quickly. And you also see the temperature of the cells going up. Yeah, cells are probably not happy at this temperature to have to deliver so much current. But on the other hand, 22 amps should be fine because, oh, see, already heated up. Because the cells are labeled with 2.8 amp hours per cell. And since I have 14 in series, they should be totally fine with a current of 28 amps. So yeah, they should actually laugh about a coffee machine. So if I put it on the second level of support, it goes up to about 400 watts until it reaches a certain speed. You can set your maximum speed at whatever you like. I like it at around 30 kilometers. I mean, you can go as fast as you want, but it's not a motorcycle with suspension, and if you go too fast, you will probably wear out your bike pretty fast. Now let's do some acceleration and check the wattage. So that just hit about 1,000 watts. Which is also the rating of the motor. But I think the maximum this display ever showed me was 1,500. So the motor probably pulls a bit more than 1,000, since I'm also not running it on 48 volts but on 50 volts. So it's with the full battery, it's 58 volts. That's the maximum the controller can handle. It's probably the limit of the FETs and the capacitors. Right, I'm almost in the lowest gear, so let's try a 0 to 30 on level 5. Now I want to use this nice weather out today and replace the gear set because I received a new one, and I knew this was probably worn out, but I never looked at it closely. And actually, I don't know if you see it, material of the gears that built up in the direction of pulling. So yeah, this really shows the tear of the motor that's going into this. Also, I don't know if they're supposed to be this loose. So let me show you my tool bag that I basically always carry. Wrench. I always have a spare chain because I was scared that it might rip on a trip, but never happened. So I'm going to use the spare chain today. And then pump. another set of wrenches. And very important, this is the special tool for the Bafang motor to tighten the motor in the bottom bracket. Allen keys, another wrench. This is the tool to take off pedals. I'll need this today. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff. And of course also to fix tire puncture, but I have to say I'm using these Marathon tires, Marathon Plus, and I'm running through glass, shattered glass all the time, not on purpose but in the city of course, and I never had an issue. Yeah, they're those reinforced tires that have like a plastic band reinforcing the running surface, and they're really good. So let's take out the wheel. Yeah, so comparing the new and the old one side by side, you can, I don't know if you can tell, but the teeth are actually much wider on the new one. So the old one has really got pointy teeth that are sort of bent together. Yeah, I can't really tell you after how many kilometers this happened. I didn't have issues for a long time. It's just started recently that gears just popped all the time, and it's getting kind of annoying. Good thing is that the hub itself doesn't seem to have taken any damage. These parts that take on the torque don't look like they have any kind of deformation. Still going smooth. So let's put on the new stuff. So I'm also going to replace the chain. It's a bit tighter, but it's not too much of a difference. Right, I already put on the wheel because it will be much easier to install the chain like this. Okay, that worked. And now the chain's put together. Now let me show you why these teeth have to wear out after a while. You can actually see how much torque is going on to them, and this lets me thinking that I should probably reduce the current. Alright, there goes a new chain with a new set of gears. I didn't exchange these two, but I think I'll be fine since they're not really taking too much force. So there goes the first gear set of my Bullitt. Wow, it's just such a silky smooth feeling. No noises. Probably should have done this earlier. I'm super happy. I really should have done this earlier. I couldn't even remember how it feels to ride a brand new drivetrain, basically. I'm gonna end the video here, and I hope I had some useful information for you or inspirations for your own bike. And now we can think about new topics for another follow-up video, hopefully not in 2 years.